2025, 2026 Detroit Pistons season successful? And yes, it was successful. I think they keep overachieving what Trajan Langdon thought, even when he added Tim Hardaway Jr., Tobias Harris, and Malik Beasley. I didn't think he thought that they was going to turn it around like that. Next year, Tim Hardaway didn't come back. Schroeder didn't come back. Beasley, I guess he on an unofficial suspension. Who knows if he ever be back. Tobias came back and he, ended up putting up Duncan Robinson, there. It was another successful year. I mean, you won 60 games. But now it's the time for reconstruction. They got decisions they have to make regarding Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren, even guys that got 1 year left like Karis LeVert. Now I think he can begin to shape this team in his mold. Now they should have beat the Cavs. I think the NBA wanted to ensure the Knicks make it to the finals, so that's why they refereed the series the way they did. They knew that the Knicks couldn't match up with the Pistons physicality-wise, and I think they couldn't afford to do a defensive finals with the Spurs and the Pistons. They couldn't afford to put that out there, even though the first Spurs and Piston game was exciting, the second one not so much. The Thunder is a good matchup for the Pistons. They had really good games, but that's not what they won. They won New York in there, so they won names like Harden and Mitchell. It'll be New York. But in general, I mean, it is what it is. You have to make your situation undeniable. Okay, I'm just so tired of this guy riding his brakes, bro. You have to make your situation undeniable. When you win a championship in a small market like Detroit, you have to take the championship. You have to snatch it from the grasp of the NBA. They're not going to hand you the championship. That's just not going to happen. They're not going to hand you the championship. So they have to put something out there so undeniable. And you see they're reluctant to crown, Anthony Edwards, Cade Cunningham. They're reluctant to give them the crown. They want to push Shea. They want to push Jokic. They want to push Wemby. They want the international appeal. They don't want to push the American ball player no more. I don't feel like Austin Reeves, Cooper Knupp, Cooper Flagg, I don't feel like they get enough push neither. But it was success. And now there's decisions to be made how you going to move with this roster. You don't want to change too much of the DNA, but anybody's expendable, probably not named Cade Cunningham and Asar Thompson. Now, do Asar Thompson have to get a jump shot or some offense? Yeah, I mean, he can't even lay the ball up. He looking real Killian Hayes. He can't even lay the ball up. And now that's becoming an issue where you can't lay the ball up. You can't finish at the rim. So he got to work on finishing at the rim, 10 to 15 footer, a floater. That's what he has to work on. That's what he has to work on. Man, I really ain't worried about. I'm not worried about that shit, man. You should have got your ass over. That's not my problem. And then Mr. Yin Yang Egg Foo Young over here driving all slow and shit. It's not my job to let you get over. You should have been over. You should wait. These motherfuckers don't be understand situational awareness. Mr. Yin Yang Egg Foo Young driving 2 miles an hour on the freeway, like in the middle lane at that. Get on in the exit lane. But where else were we at it with? But I mean, Jalen Duren got a decision to make there. I don't think he was too fond of Duren. I think Duren proved his point. I'm not. Hey man, I ain't telling you what I would or wouldn't pay him. But you get somebody else, Miles Turner. I don't know who else you can get. I know that's somebody they really like. I mean, that's what you go get. Which I'm pretty sure they want somebody that can defend the rim first and foremost. Turner's a good shot blocker. May not be the best rebounder, but neither is Jalen Duren at this point. Tobias Harris, that's a position that they got to upgrade. he can't shoot 31% from three from that same fucking corner every year, and he can't hit that corner shot. You need him to hit that corner shot, and he can't hit it. So they got to find somebody in that corner that can be efficient. They can't start Duncan Robinson next year. You got to find somebody that can get their own shot, a la Zach LaVine, Kyrie. Somebody that can shoot and get their own shot. That's imperative. And then you might need one of those guys coming off the bench. They tried to do that with Karis LeVert. Maybe you can bring back Malik Beasley. I think when he got here, he showed that he was more than a shooter. He was able to get a bucket off the bench. Maybe, Malik Beasley able to come back. Maybe look at a guy like Malik Monk, somebody that can get you some work off the bench, instant offense. Then down the stretch, you can close them out. Preferably you want them to be able to defend too. Possibly initiate the offense a little bit, but you got Jenkins for that. So I think they season really turned when they got Karis LeVert and they didn't get Nickeil Alexander-Walker when he chose to go to Atlanta. And he came here and did what he did. I don't think the NBA could have stopped him from going to the NBA Finals. And that's just my opinion, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So I think it was a success, but I think now it's time to make the proper adjustments to the roster. I know you don't want to get too much. You don't want to get rid of too much of the DNA, but somebody got to go. Somebody got to. If you start thinking Giannis or somebody amongst that, then you start thinking about Asar Thompson getting through into the deal. So that's the thing about it. But, excuse me. But but we'll see. We'll see. But it was definitely a successful season. K need help. K got wore down. So he need help. But especially if you got to overcome the NBA, the referees, they gonna need some help. So my thing is probably Kyrie Irving. Shouldn't cost a lot of money coming off a major injury. Year removed off that injury. Can get you a bucket. Obviously you don't need him to carry you through the regular season. He can rehab and work his way through the regular season. You need Kyrie for them playoff games. You let something with Austin Reeves. It's another guy you can look at with Austin Reeves. Sign and trade for Duren. Can he stay healthy? Do we want to be here? I know he didn't want to get drafted here, but the situations is different now. But if I'm LA, I can't get rid of Austin Reeves. It ain't too many people who can play well with Luka. And he's one of those guys who got great rapport with Luka. So I can't allow that to happen. But I can't allow that to happen. So, but to lose a guy that's tough to play with, but they do need a center. So it's been talked. So, but other than that, I think anybody outside Asar and K is expendable. I think K got to work on getting in the gym, getting better, conditioning. That's just come with the game. I think he can stand to get in the weight room too. They don't make basketball players with muscles no more. What the fuck happened to that shit? You got one every 30 NBA players got some muscle. Everybody don't believe in. You need to put some muscle on, man. Especially if you're a vegan, you need to put some muscle on that frame. Because obviously you ain't getting the foul calls. So now you just have to blastoid your way through these motherfuckers. You feel me? So we know you're going to have to play through contact and they not giving you no calls. Asar Thompson, I would work on him finishing at the rim, free throw shooting, 10 to 15 foot pull up, floater. That's what I'll be working on him for all this season. Then extend that range out to three. But that's another reason when you talk about, who you add to the squad, it's contingent on him. So you put him and Duren in live, you got two people who can't shoot. So the other three got to shoot. Okay, this is good. He's cool at shooting. So now you can't have Tobias in the corner. You got to have somebody that can score, that can shoot. you know? So they kind of hand tie you from a roster standpoint of view, you know? So I think guys like Klay Thompson can help them, Kyrie Irving can help them, Malik Beasley can help them, Lauri Markkanen can help them, Trey Murphy can help them. You know, I think guys like that. Shit, even if they decide to trade a guy like Franz Wagner, he can help them. The semis be killing me, dog. They be sitting here going in the fast lane, slowing everything up because they don't want to be in the right lane. Like, get your ass in the right. I can't stand these whole ass semis, bro. I tell you that, dog. And they block both. It's only 2 lanes on this part of the freeway, and both semi trucks block both lanes. I don't understand it. I literally don't understand it, dude. They do this every day, bro. And then one of them gets to the fast lane and just go slow. Like, nah. You chose to get paid by the load or get paid by the hour. That ain't got shit to do with me, or paid by the load instead of the hour. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.